वेलकम बैक। और जिस तरह मैंने आपसे बताया था कि हमारे साथ जर्मन एम्बेसडर मौजूद होंगे, तो मैं आपको उनसे इंट्रोड्यूस कराती हूँ। द ऑनरेबल Alfred Grannas is with us. Hello, assalamu alaikum. We usually greet like this. Assalamu alaikum. How are you?
Walaikum assalam. I'm
Oh,
fine.
very good. I was expecting this because whenever I have talked to any diplomat, they learn these things really quickly.
Yeah. No, that's true because those are the easy ones. So that's
Yeah.
actually, should at least try to.
Yeah. And it gets
familiarize.
you connected to the people also.
In a way, yes, because at least if you're able to communicate something in the local languages, then of course it does.
It does. And you are already very good at multiple languages. You could speak so many languages and all of them fluently.
As I told you already before, to disclose something to our viewers, it's the easy ones. The easy ones from our perspective, because those are the ones that, as a German, you learn rather quickly, or you should learn.
So you could speak French and
English, Spanish, Italian, Norwegian.
Okay. So they have this connection between them.
Yeah. Not these Latin languages like French, Italian, Spanish, we connect through Latin because that is something we learn at school. And then this gives a very good basis. From that on, it's easy to learn those languages. And English, of course, also Norwegian.
And that's the oldest one as well, Latin.
Yeah, that's nobody speaks it, but it's something, at least at my time, we learned at school to train our brains. That's what they told us what it would do.
Okay.
And in a way, it works in terms of this, for those languages, it does.
And we have heard that people who could speak more than 2 languages, they are really intelligent. So you come under that category automatically.
No comment. That's for others to judge.
So you started as you completed your law degree, and afterwards you were posted at different positions. And I was going through the CV, which is very, very profound. Since 1990, you are associated with German Foreign Office.
Yes.
So I would like to know what the German Foreign Office perspective is about Pakistan.
For us, or Germany Foreign Office, Pakistan is a very important country and a very important partner. Number one, we have a long history of cooperation with Pakistan. Pakistan was one of the first countries after the First World War when we started again diplomatic relations in the beginning of the 50s. So Pakistan was one of the first countries we established diplomatic relations. And also we are present here since a long time, since the early 60s, with development cooperation, investing in development projects in Pakistan. And of course, so that makes us already close partners with a long history of cooperation and also a long history of friendly cooperation. And of course, if you look at Pakistan and at its neighbors, where it's situated, it makes it obviously also an important country because
of the geopolitical
setup and the stability and prosperity of Pakistan is not only important for Pakistan, of course, but also for us, it plays an important role because, of its geopolitical situation.
It is important for the world, if I may say that. And obviously because of the friends, and to the friends we are connected to. So that's the overall perspective about Pakistan. So recently when they offered you to come here and assume your office in Islamabad, what was your idea about Pakistan and what you thought about Pakistan? Since we have been spreading a lot of news that is related to not very good stuff that's happening around, but a lot of opinion making is due to the news that we are throwing and that people are publishing all over the globe.
Yes, of course. So let me start with, Pakistan has a reputation which is in large parts, I would say, not deserved. So it is the result of incidents, things happening that then if you compose them to a media picture, then of course it is a bit, it has this spin to the negative. But again, for me personally, when I was asked to come here, I was actually rather excited because I know the region a little bit. I served in Afghanistan. Well, that thankfully, that is a rather different place, but still it's close. I was here also for work travel before, and so that
does it scare you somehow, or the diplomats, when you roam around or when you sit with them, when you talk to people, does it somehow scare, or is it just a perception?
It may be a perception of others, at least for me, and I would dare to speak also for the majority of my colleagues here. There is nothing scary. Of course, you take security
precautions. Good to know that. We are happy to know that.
Yeah. Of course, you take some security precautions in the areas where you say, okay, probably something could happen, but that, of course, doesn't make it scary, and it doesn't, and it's at all, it's everything else than scary to interact with people here, because people are so welcoming, so hospitable, and so open also to receiving us foreigners, that it's quite the opposite of scare. It's a pleasure.
There's a lot of warmth.
Yeah. Yes, it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to interact with people.
So it's been 6 to 8 months, roughly, that you are here.
Yeah, I arrived in August, yes.
Yeah. So what are the things that you're really liking about the country, or specifically Islamabad, where you reside?
Okay, but the country I already started because about the welcoming culture and the warmth of the people and the hospitality. This is actually something which really much to the liking. Again, also about Pakistan in general, what I also like a lot, because I had the chance to travel quite extensively already, it's diversity. So wherever you go, it's one country, but still different.
Yeah, cultures and different colors and different people, languages.
Yeah, so that is also very thrilling. So also gives you the impression how big and how many people are in Pakistan, where it's very, very diverse. And well, speaking about Islamabad, of course, Islamabad is, in that sense, a nice green place, which is rather quiet compared to, for example, Karachi. But again, but that's nice to have. So for that,
they say we don't sleep in Karachi.
Yeah.
Even if you're out late hours. So you would feel that everything is open, people are, vibrant and get going all the time.
That's certainly a difference to Islamabad. But I must also say, it's a nice combination in a sense. When you are in Islamabad, so once in a while you have to get out and escape that, not the calm and quiet, and get yourself to a real city where things are happening, and that's definitely Karachi.
We take the credit that we are the backbone of the country, because we are the industrial hub, and it's the big city, and it has a very, very huge and attractive background and history attached to the city. So we take all that credit.
And rightly so, because it's really a place.
So have you gone to any place for eating? Because we are known for that as well. Good recipes, good food, lot of restaurants.
That, of course, tends to become a problem in the sense that because people are so hospitable. Whenever I'm here, I get invited. So the chance to go to a restaurant, or the chance to go to restaurants are not that much. But anyway, this time, I must say, we went to, on Saturday evening, we went to Kolachi, which I find a fascinating place. This kind of wooden structure on the beach. And the food is good.
Beach,
because, the combination, because usually if you have those scenic places, the food sometimes doesn't tend to match the scenery, but there, I must say, without making any propaganda for others, but again, but the combination was good. So
no, that we understand, because you have that specific taste bud, and you have that specific taste, I'm sure, and switching to some other place and adapting to the taste they have or they offer, it takes time. So what do you like? I mean, in our cuisine, what do you like the most?
I must say, being here in Karachi, of course, biryani is the one
biryani?
Thing. I like it a lot, and also as I said, the real one, the one you get here, because this is so.
That's rare in other parts of the country.
The real one, yes. I've said that is very, very good. But then, of course, also in other parts of the country, I must say I'm a big fan of chapli kebab. Which is also,
good.
And all these wonderful things you would never get in Europe, where you have this whole lamb buried,
Yes.
and then kind of slightly roasted, steamed underneath.
Yeah, steam roast, yes.
And then there's, no, it's really the
With
the
rice
meat
within
melts.
it.
Yes, and the
Sometimes.
meat melts really on the tongue. Those things are, okay. But anyway, let's not talk about that much, otherwise I'm getting hungry.
Yeah, you are so right about it, but good to know that you are liking all these things. So coming back to the serious part of the discussion, that most of our students and people in Pakistan, they are opting Germany for education and for immigration. So what is the scope in that?
Talking about students, and that's at first, compared to pre-COVID times, I think we have a threefold increase in applicants for people going to study to Germany. I think it has to do with the fact that more and more German universities now also offer programs in English, which wasn't the case.
Yeah, it wasn't there before, yes.
Yeah, before you needed to speak German to follow the classes, which makes it more difficult. But now, of course, when you have programs in English, it's more accessible. And I think also one not unimportant factor is that Pakistani students probably have discovered that German universities offer, of course, good quality, but also they don't charge tuition fees.
That's the most important point.
I would say that's
the most important point, because we have a lot of talent, we have a lot of people, they really want to study, they work hard, yet they don't get the opportunities. There are so many other problems and hindrances, I'm not going to get into that in Pakistan, but that's the most important thing which Germany is offering, because they don't charge anything from student.
It's relatively cheap. You pay a very modest
very modest amount
to the student union thing, so things like that. And of course you have to cover the cost of living in a way if you are not, if you don't have a scholarship. But again, yes, compared to other countries where tuition fees can be rather hefty, it's
it's altogether different in Germany.
Cheap, no? To put it that way.
So what is the vision behind it? I mean, why the country is pursuing that kind of a program, especially for people who are not their, citizens?
Yeah. No, I think we just don't make much of a distinction between our own students. As number one, most German universities are public, and they are also good. So there are very few private universities, and that are not necessarily always the best ones. So the concept behind is that the country offers first and foremost, its own citizens and its own youth the opportunity to get an education which doesn't cost that much, in the sense that it is accessible in principle for everybody, and gives people from all walks of society the chance to move upward, or social, the so-called upward social mobility is a very important factor.
So you are giving chance to everybody, irrespective.
Yes, irrespective of class and all these things where people come from. So it doesn't always work, of course, but in principle, it is also, I would say, part of the success story Germany, if you want to say so, because we try to use all talent we have, and not only restricted to those straits of society that can afford expensive education. And because we do that for ourselves, we don't see any reason why we should be different, have a different approach to foreigners, why we should charge them things that we don't charge our own citizens. Our universities are not even they don't have this kind of departments, let's say, where you...
No finance department.
Yeah, but okay, for their own financing, but no things where you can administer tuition fees. They don't even have that.
Because this is highly appreciated. This is much appreciated. And I ask this because for us, for Pakistanis, it is our belief system that we feel this is a service to mankind. Whatever you are doing, this is a service to mankind, and it has numerous rewards in this world and hereafter. This is what our belief is. And since you're doing it, this is much appreciated. We are really glad that, there are people around the globe who are thinking this way and who are offering these opportunities to everybody irrespective of the background, irrespective of their language or any distinction that they have.
No. So. Yeah, as said, for us, the starting point is actually that we wanted to give or develop our own society in a way that sort of tries at least to give equal opportunity to everybody. Yes. And then, why make it different or
for others.
Foreigners to
so
come.
What about the people who want to go into certain professions and then take immigration for the country?
That's, of course, a bit of a more difficult path. What we do, and you probably will see more of that in the future, we do still have had, so because it's in a transition phase, a rather strict immigration policy. But as we face, let's say, in Germany and in Europe in general, aging populations, and we also have a shortage of skilled labor, I think there the approach also has already changed and is changing in a sense that we will need skilled immigration, and that will open doors for people that have the necessary skills and are willing to make the move and are willing to integrate. And of course, that can be done in different ways. Some people will say, will never come back, probably. They may still send remittances, which is also a good source of income. Some may just go and stay for some time, improve the skills
and then come
more,
back.
And then come back and work here. So they're both possibilities. Both of these things are possible. So I think that is not a mass movement yet, but we will.
But there are people who are interested.
There is already a Pakistani community, what I would say, about 80,000 people in Germany. Not the biggest immigrant community we have, but they're there. And one thing, if I may, I will have to say, because our what is this? This is the German Federal Immigration Agency, or translate that. They do surveys ever so often about not to figure the integration index, as meaning which kind of or what immigrant communities integrate best. And Pakistanis score highest actually, because which is probably a surprise to some, but it's not. They have a very good reputation.
The love you have found here is more deep. Let's put it that way. So I have to go for a break right now, and then we'll be coming back and we'll start. लेकिन एक बात ब्रेक पर जाने से पहले मुझे कहनी है कि जर्मनी में जब आप एजुकेशन हासिल करते हैं तो मिस्टर एल्फ्रेड का ये कहना है कि वहाँ पर फ्री ऑफ कॉस्ट एजुकेशन होती है. फाइनेंस डिपार्टमेंट होता ही नहीं है यूनिवर्सिटी में, और अगर कॉस्ट होती है तो वो बहुत मिनिमम होती है. जो इनके नेशनल्स के लिए, अपने लोगों के लिए है, वही पूरी दुनिया के लिए है. यानी अगर कोई पाकिस्तानी बच्चा भी बाहर पढ़ने जाता है तो उसके लिए भी वही कॉस्ट है, वही मिनिमम कॉस्ट. और इनको यही लगता है, इसके पीछे विजन ये है कि जो हम अपने लोगों को ऑफर कर रहे हैं वो सबको ऑफर करें, ताकि सबको आगे बढ़ने का और ऊपर जाने का मौका मिले. ऊपर एक तरक्की करते हुए ऊपर जाने का मौका मिले. एक ब्रेक आ गया है, ब्रेक के बाद हम हाजिर होते हैं. Welcome back, and we have with us Mr. Alfred Grannas, German ambassador, और इनसे हम काफ़ी सारी बातें कर रहे हैं. एजुकेशन के बारे में भी बात की, हमने बाकी चीज़ों के बारे में भी बात की. इनका काफ़ी टूर रहा है सिंध के मुख्तलिफ इलाकों का, शहरों का, फ्लड्स के बाद ख़ास तौर पे, और उसके बारे में मैं आपसे जानूंगी. So you have visited different parts of Sindh as well, and most specifically Lal Shahbaz Qalandar's shrine.
Yes.
So how was the experience over there? And later on, you met different people. I saw on your social media pages, you were communicating with them, you were seeing them, you were with them, you saw how they live. So what is your stance over that?
Okay. So first, Lal Shahbaz, that's of course a very inspiring place and also a very spiritual place. And went there at night, and then of course when all these people coming and the dancing, the music, and these things, that is actually really was a very spiritual experience to be there.
Yeah, we call it dhamal. That happens at night, yes.
Yeah. Okay, but
and the Sufi music, that's the Sufi music, where they kind of connect to the Lord.
Yes, that is, I do understand that is what people feel, because it's really,
that's
the whole
spirituality,
thing makes you this dive into the spirituality. So it's a very, very impressive, or also left and lasting impression on me, this way of how spiritual people really can be. And of course, the other part of the visits, we went also to flood-affected areas, not only, but also in terms of meeting people in the community, meeting also people in the villages, partly in areas where there was we contributed to project funding to rehabilitation. The number one, first to relief, and then also now to rehabilitation, and saw how people struggle to find back to their normal lives.
Yes.
Where we are so proud, and at least in that sense happy that we could contribute a little bit to that. We're also visiting villages where the government, also together with some organizations, also partly supported by Germany, is doing a great job in terms of empowering rural communities, especially women there, to make them able to determine their own lives to a certain extent.
Take control of their lives.
Take control,
yes.
Be part of the decision-making process, is not being decided
upon. So are you doing
upon
some kind of a campaign or a program?
Yes, there are things we support, some rural support programs that go on, and also specifically target women, in the sense that it try to help them to create their own livelihoods in terms of professional engagement in different areas they can do. So, as said, with the aim of making them part of the decision-making process, and not only being decided upon and about, which is very important to us. We also visited some minority communities where the same things are happening, so that's just, it's not only for the majority of people, but also minority communities. So it's a very, 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 for me, not only impressive, but also instructive visit, and how to see, and also in a way which was good to experience that the things, programs, parts we are at least partly supporting do have a positive effect on people's lives, be it in the flood response, but also be it in the more structural or longer term interventions or investments in empowerment of women, but also minorities and other people that need help to take control of their own life.
Whosoever needs help, yes. So for them, have you started this already?
Yeah, there are interventions ongoing all the time, and programs supported by German development agencies with German government money. And that's also something very important to mention. It's not only the government, because also in flood response, there's a lot of private engagement. There's people that are donating to organizations in Germany that then in turn support their partners here. So it's not only the government, but it's also the people. People have collected quite a lot of funds. So the government, in flood response, the government has up until now, because it's not the end of it, committed about 184 million euros.
184 million euros.
Euros so far, and more than 100 are also already out in the field, and the rest is to come.
So the distribution process and overall rehabilitation from Germany is being done by your own team?
No. What we do usually, partly, what we do with immediate flood relief, we work usually with UN organizations, with Red Cross, Red Crescent system, because we think they are professional, they know what to do, they
know the areas, and they know how to go about it, yes.
They have structures here, they were on the ground already before the floods, so they know what to do. So that is how we work. So that's why I don't see that many German flags in this flood response, because we don't do it ourselves, we work with those organizations. And then the longer-term rehabilitation efforts that we'll see, we'll also do with local partners, but there our own development organizations we have that are also on the ground here, they will be more visible because they are more, for instance, for longer-term, more structural interventions.
So, Mr. Alfred, apart from everything else, apart from the diplomacy and everything else, when you landed there, when you saw people, when they were interacting or your team was translating that for you, what did you feel as a human? What were your thoughts as a human?
I would say this is, number one, it makes you speechless for a moment because this kind of experience of people that are already, but the most affected people of floods are those who are already not having the best living conditions from before. And if you see those people, that what has come upon them, and then also you see and interact with them, and see that they still are trying to struggle on and to get back their life, it's very, and that one makes you speechless for them. What to say, because this is such a huge...
It's a calamity.
A calamity and catastrophe for those people. And then still is also very touching the way they still, they're there, they want to get back on their feet. And
do you take these visions and communications along with you?
Yeah.
Do they appear to you sometime?
They stick, and this is also, say, if you see that yourself, well, it's also with TV pictures and reading
they are
about
different.
things. It's
they are different.
But if you see this and meet people, that's exactly what you really makes you, motivates you also to carry on and try to mobilize some more things, and some more funds probably, but also see of yourself where probably things could be better targeted. All these things that stick and are also provide a motivation for us and for myself also to carry on and to try to also contribute further, probably also to do more. And also, which is very important, actually to have seen it yourself, to know, then it does help you to know better what actually is needed and what the most pressing problems on the ground really are.
Yeah. So we have a few minutes left for this session, and I don't want you to forget your wife, who's also a diplomat. Who's also a diplomat. And when you have two diplomats in the house and this long distance relationship, how do you manage it? With the son who's in university.
So far it has worked out surprisingly well. Surprisingly well, if you want to say. Probably it also helps.
Do you visit her or she visits you?
I mean, mostly I'm commuting. Okay. I'm the one that goes back and forth.
Okay, that's your duty.
That's
the burden lies on you. Okay.
In that sense, that's my job, yes.
Okay.
But it worked out rather well. Probably, I would say, probably it helps if you don't see each other that often. So keeps things fresh.
There are lesser fights.
Then you also, when you see each other, you're more motivated to, let's say, enjoy the time and enjoy the quality time, and probably if you see each other every day. But anyway, you see, I'm just trying to make to embellish that not really perfect situation for myself in a way, to try to explain how good it is. No, it's of course not, but that's the way it is. In a way, it's also a consequence of modern life. So if you have two professionals that have to follow their own professions, then it's difficult to lead a traditional family life.
But obviously, that's your choice, how you make the arrangement. And if you're happy in that, that's all.
Yeah.
Even if you're living together and you're not happy, then again, it's questionable.
It doesn't work. But for us, it was clear that from the beginning, that we would try to have a life where actually really both are equal, and that meaning that none of us will follow the other one and give up things that are important for him or her for the other one. And I probably also, that is a recipe that
I'll have this, personal life session sometime later. because I think there are a lot of things I would want you to tell us, and I would want us all to listen and learn from you. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you so much that you have met us and the audiences and shared your views and information.
Thank you very much. And yeah, to all the viewers, have a good start to the day.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So with that, एक break आ गया है. Break के बाद इरफान कामिल साहब हमारे साथ मौजूद होंगे और दरमियान में जैसे जैसे मुझे चीज़ें याद आती गई जो ज़्यादा important हैं वो मैं आप लोगों को मज़ीद भी बताती रहूँगी. आप हमारे साथ रहिए. Break के बाद मुलाकात होती है.